Okay, we'll just get our screen share here. All right. So we have two folks from Mindflash who will be talking. This is Randir Vieira, and we'll have Jason McMurray as well. Let's run through the agenda. We'll just do a quick recap of the recent feature enhancements that we've done over the last couple of months, so that if you've missed any of these sessions, you're aware at least of what we've done and what's already available to you. Then we'll spend some time talking about what's coming up in the next few weeks and talk about what we've done, why we've done that, and what some of the advantages are to you. And that's in the enhancements that we've done for the groups section, enhancements we've made with series, some additional enhancements we're doing with single sign-on to help you with Active Directory and Salesforce, being able to run training on your own custom domain. You may have also heard of some of the news around our feature called Focus Assist, which is currently in beta and is available on the iPad to all existing customers. So we'll do a little demo on that and talk about why that's important and what's coming next on Focus Assist. And then we'll talk about some of the big things that we're working on here at Mindflash that you should see over the next couple of months. And then we'll leave some time for questions. So with that, we'll start with a recap of our recent enhancements. So this is Randir Vieira. I'm the VP for Product and Marketing. And we'll have Jason McMurray, who is our VP for Sales and Support, talking about custom domains and Active Directory. And then Terrence Cito, who's one of our product managers, will do the demo on Focus Assist. So a couple of months ago, we announced this feature where you can make edits to a course after you've made them active. So this is something that would be useful if you've made a course live, people have started taking it, and then you get feedback. You want to incorporate that feedback, maybe by changing some of the content, adding some quizzes, any of that kind of stuff. You can do it while the course is still active. So if you've been blocked with that in the past, please know that that's no longer a restriction, and you can make any change you want on a course once it's active. It obviously does have some implications on your reporting, but if that's something that you would rather do, then you can make those changes. Another big one is to replace your existing content without affecting your quizzes and the other documents. So let's say you've uploaded a PowerPoint file, and then you've sequenced your quizzes, you've put in some video, you've put in PDF documents, and these are all in the order that you want. And now you need to update your original PowerPoint file. You can click on the Replace button that shows up in both the Manage and the Arrange tab, and you see that up on your screen, and put the new file that you've updated. And this will just replace the file, the original file, with the new file, but keep all the other documents, the quizzes, etc., in the exact same place that you had them. If you don't use the replace function and use the delete function instead, then it's going to put this new file at the end of the course, and now you have to rearrange the course in the Arrange tab. So if you're looking to just replace a single file, please make sure you use the replace function. It'll make your life a lot easier. We announced this feature called Usernames, which is available on our Advanced and Pro plans. And this is for cases where your trainees don't have email addresses. This could be mobile workers, it could be resellers, it could be people in the hospitality or retail business where you have a lot of people and they all have access to computers or iPads, but they may not have a corporate email address, and you don't want to send them corporate training to their personal email address. You can now create usernames and passwords for them, and they can just walk up to one of those computers or iPads, enter their username and password, and take the training. So you get all the benefits that you're used to with Mindflash, like the reporting and tracking, etc., but you can do that without an email address. For people who are on our Advanced and Pro plans, to make billing easier, we do have an invoicing option, which is we invoice you and you can pay for that, especially on an annual basis. so that you don't have to worry about the charge hitting your credit card every month. It just makes billing easier. So if you're on the Advanced or Pro or interested in going to the Advanced and Pro tier, just give us a call and we'd be happy to set you up with invoicing on annual payment. And if you have a need for custom fields, we have one custom field available on the basic and advanced tier, but if you want more fields to track a manager's name, department, region of the country, or any other fields that may be important to you, then you can put those in the Pro plan, and we have up to 10 custom fields available there. And we also have an API access that's available in the Pro plan along with our single sign-on option, so that you can not only sign people in, but also get information to Mindflash and out of Mindflash using the API. This significantly improves your workflow. So for instance, when somebody joins the company, they can be put into your HR system, and then that automatically adds them to Mindflash. Mindflash invites them to your new hire course, and all of that happens without you doing any specific or manual work in Mindflash. So if you're interested on reducing the amount of time that you spend administering things in Mindflash and would like to hook this up with some of your existing systems, either to put information into Mindflash or to take it out, typically for reporting reasons, definitely let us know about the API. We even have this set up so that you can view the API and play with it without being on the Pro tier. So if you want your developers to take a look at it, we're happy to send you that link. And now once you have all these custom fields in there, in the advanced reporting capability for that Pro tier, you can now run reports by filtering them by group or by custom fields. So if you're trying to send reports to different managers in different departments or different regions of the country, this makes it a snap to run those reports, export them either in Excel or PDF, and send them along. And if you have what we call our unlimited trainee option, which is you're training a large number of people, or you don't know exactly how many people will take the training, you need to send the training out to 10,000 people, but you're not sure how many people may actually take the training, we do have an unlimited trainee plan that gives you that flexibility, and that's available on an annual basis. So if you have that kind of a situation, let us know, and we'll be happy to work with you on it. So that completes our recap of features that we had released over the last couple of months, and these are all available on the tiers that we specified already. So if you have any interest, let us know. If you're on the basic tier, you do have a free 30-day trial of the advanced tier, so you can check out series and the advanced reports and all of that, and you can do that on your own by just clicking on the series button or the advanced reporting button and starting your 30-day free trial of the advanced level. So let's talk about a couple of the enhancements, and the format we'll follow, which we've done in the past, is we'll talk about what some of the problems and solutions that we're trying to address are, and then we'll do a live demo. So in groups, if I want to see who's in a group, how do I see that? And we'll find two ways to do that, the ability to search by a group and to look at the list of groups and to click to see who's in that group. Sometimes I may want to create a group, and this was a buried option, especially when I had a lot of groups already created. So that option is now at the top, so it's persistent at the top. I may want to create a group while I'm adding or editing a trainee. So if I'm in the process of adding a trainee, I realize, oh, this guy is in a new part of the business that I didn't create a group for yet. Earlier, I would have had to go to the groups section, add a new group, then come back to add or edit that trainee to assign him to that group. I can now create that new group on the fly while I'm adding or editing that trainee. And we'll take a look at that. I want to see the trainees who aren't in a group, because I want to look at all the people who haven't been assigned to a group yet and then assign them to a group. It's now super easy to search for people who are not grouped and assign them to a group if you want. And our search, which was really powerful, did require you to have 3 characters. So there were some of you who had groups that were 2 characters, and so weren't able to search. So we've now relaxed that requirement. So as long as you have the search now works with 1 or more characters instead of 3 or more. So we're going to just go over to the panel or to the product and see it. This isn't live in your account yet, This is being demoed from our QA environment, but it will go live in the next within the next week. So stay tuned, and we will have tutorials in the product once that goes live to help you. A quick tip as we navigate around the product, and may be useful for you as well, is the little arrow near your name on the top right. When you click on that, you have access from any page to these options, which are pretty helpful, which is the manage account and the manage user. You still seeing the PowerPoint? Okay. I'm going to just try and, okay, sorry about that. So if you click on this right arrow near your name on the top right, you always have access to certain features like the manage account and the manage users, and these options are available on every page. So if you're in the course and you realize you need to go to a manage user section, you can just click on this little arrow and go to manage users. So I'm going to go to manage users, and I can do it either from that top section there or from the button on the right rail. So going back to our first question of how do I see who's in a particular group, I can type in the name over here. So I can start typing the name and select this group, and now I see the people who are in this group. Another way to do it, if I don't even know what the names of the groups are, would be to go to the groups and see the list of all the people in the group, and I can see how many people are in that group. And if I want to see who are the 3 people in that engineering group, I click on the magnifying glass, which tells me that I'm going to search for these group members, and it puts that group in the search box and shows me who's in that group. We also talked about how I can add people, and so you'll see this add groups is persistently at the top, so that if you have a long list of people, that add group used to be at the bottom. Now you'll always have that at the top. I'm going to show you as I'm adding a particular, or I'm editing a particular trainee, so I can edit this particular trainee and which groups that Jim belongs in. And let's say I want to add, I want to put him in the West group. Now the West group doesn't exist. There's Northwest, but the West group doesn't exist. I can now either mouse down or click down with my with the bottom arrow and select this group, and this will create the new group and assign Jim to this group. And this works the same way for both editing as well as adding a new user. So if I'm adding people here and I want to create the same group, I get the people who are in the group, but I can also create the new group. So I can assign an existing group or create a new group right while I'm adding a new trainee. For the case where I wanted to see the people who weren't in a group so that I could assign them to a group, I can now search by ungrouped users. And you can see that Jason and Greg and stuff haven't been assigned a group yet. And then I can select either one or more of those folks, click on the pencil near the groups, and type in the name of a group and assign them to that group. And then they'll no longer show up in the ungrouped users because they now have a group. And now if I'm going to search for a group, say I'm looking for Southwest, but I can just type the letters, so it's starting with S or O, and I'll start getting more refined results as I go along. And you see those results over here. So those were the cases that we talked about in the tasks and the solutions, and we looked at how we can do that in the product. So now we'll move on to series and look at some of the enhancements that we've made with series. Okay. I want to select more than one trainee, and this is for people who are in the series. So I go into a series, I look at who are the people in a series, and I want to take some actions on more than one person. We now have checkboxes that allow you to select just the trainees that you want and to take actions on them. Another task that we heard was I want to reset a trainee who is in a series. You always had the ability to reset people in a particular course in a series, but if you just wanted them to retake the whole series again, you didn't have that ability, but now you do. And the third task is if you want to reset a trainee who hasn't started or is in progress or who completed a course, whether they passed or failed, we were only allowing you to reset trainees in certain cases, like if they failed a course, but not if they passed. And similarly, not if they were in progress, but only if they missed the deadline. You can now reset the trainee regardless of which state they're in. We've also changed the word from re-invite to reset to make it clearer of what exactly happens. With re-invite, both of them continue to act exactly the same way. So reset works exactly the same way as re-invite did, but we hope that it's clearer on what it conveys, which is this trainee record is now being wiped clean, and they start from the beginning like a new user. So they get an invitation email and all of that and start from the beginning, and it wipes the slate clean. So if they took quizzes and things, you would not have that information anymore. So I'm going to move over back to the page. So you should see my product now, okay? And I'm going to look for a series. For those of you who have a lot of courses, you may like to move between these two different views, the list view and the thumbnail view. So to make it a little bit easier, we're going to look at this new employee training here, and I want to see who are the people in this course or in the series. And you'll notice now these checkboxes that didn't happen before, and now I can take action at an individual level, which I could do earlier as well, but now I can also act on people that I select, and then I take actions here at the top. It's also useful to know that you can filter by just the people in different states in the course, just by clicking on these words at the top. So the all, invited, in progress, etc. will help you to refine your list, especially when you have hundreds of trainees, to get to just the people that you want. You can also, without checking any of these folks here, or by clicking on all of them here, selecting all of them, you can take bulk actions with these buttons at the top, and we will do the right thing. So for instance, your reset here will affect all 7 trainees, but when you're dropping people, it will only drop the folks that are eligible, so it won't take the person who has completed the course out of it. And then it'll send reminders to all 6, etc. So that's a nice shortcut for taking bulk actions on just the people that you want to act on. And then, of course, if you want to take actions on individual folks, you do that and click the button that you're interested in. Make sure, or I just want to highlight that this feature is still available, which is to reset individual courses that a person is in. So if you think they need to take just that particular course again that they've taken, then you can do that. So Jason has completed the course, but I want him to take the Zoom product training again. I can do that by clicking on the reset link here. So that covers the, and you can, at this top level, the reset at the series level will reset people for that whole series. So they'll get a new invitation email and be able to take folks for the, or be able to take the whole series again. And with that, there's one other thing that I wanted to highlight, which is we know that people spend a lot of time in our product, and this is both for the trainer and the trainee. And so we want to make sure that we are also aware of the security implications. And because a lot of what we do is tied to tracking and reporting of the trainee activity, we will now start logging people out after 3 hours of no activity. So if you're constantly using Mindflash and it's more than 3 hours, no problem, you'll continue to work as you've done before. However, if you leave the Mindflash product idle for more than 3 hours, you will be asked to log in again, And when you log in again, we will take you back to the same page that you were on before. So hopefully it won't be too much of an inconvenience, but we do want to balance the security implications of just keeping people logged in with the convenience of staying logged in as well. So we hope that this will be that happy balance. And with that, I'm going to ask Jason to come and talk about custom domains.
There was a question that came in while Randy was talking that was asking whether or not we're going to make this presentation available. We will. It will be emailed to everyone who signed up for this webinar, whether you attended or not, although those of you who are on the phone, I guess, are attending. So you will hear about that.
And all previous webinars are also available on our YouTube page at youtube.com/mindflashtraining. So if you or any of your colleagues want to revisit any of the past webinars, you're welcome to do that as well.
Yeah. A couple other things. In GoToWebinar on the right-hand side, there is a section for questions. So please feel free to enter any questions in there. We will address them after we go through all the different features that we're highlighting today. So feel free to do that, and we will answer your questions. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on these features. We can answer questions on anything. And then lastly, the other thing I wanted to add is just before I jump into the things I'm going to talk about is all of the features that you saw, certainly in Randier's section, and even the two that I'm going to talk about real quickly, are things that have been requests that have come from all of our customers and trialists. So you know, a lot of you have contributed to those and sent in your requests and enhancement ideas, and that certainly helps us a lot and guides what we do. So you know, the last section were a bunch of features that we built previously and we continue to work on, but most of that is fueled by what you guys are telling us you want to see. So with that said, I'm going to jump into custom domains. This is something that we hear from people, particularly those that are doing customer training or have very strong brand presence. They want to take the Mindflash out of their website address. So currently the way it works is you have something that is a subdomain of Mindflash, which is something such as training.mindflash.com. Now you can customize that domain. So you see here, just in terms of what we were trying to solve for, people wanted increased branding for their customers. They wanted to have a seamless transition as they have like a link on their website to their training courses. So rather than send them to a Mindflash domain, it would be pretty seamless and just say that they're on the same domain. And then in the emails that we send out to people when they're invited, reminded, et cetera, all the automated emails, they do get an HTML, or they get a straight URL that if there's a problem with the HTML, they can paste into their browser. That will now reflect the custom domain that you're putting in place. So what I'm going to do is just show you real quickly, or talk real quickly about how that works and how you would set it up, and then I can show you a quick demo of exactly what that looks like. So in order to use the custom domain, two things. First of all, this is a feature that's offered on the Pro tier, so you would have to have a Pro account. But you'll also have to have control of your domain. So if you're from Nestle, you have to have access to the domain to be able to set up the proper settings in order to make that happen. But you can set up something like training.nestle.com, and that's where all of your Mindflash courses will live. You'll have to create a CNAME record, and then you would add that to your Mindflash account. So what I'll do real quickly here is just show you how that works. And we'll have all of these instructions available so that you can share it with your technical team to make that process easy. Sorry, we're having a little trouble with GoToMeeting showing our screen, so. Okay, so what you're able to do is show you where we can do that here. If you go to the Manage Account page and you have a Pro account, you will see this section down here where you can have a custom domain. Once the CNAME has been created on your domain, you can come in here and type what you want that address to be. So let's say this is a custom domain that we own. This has been set up. The CNAME's already been set up, so I've saved this. Yes. So now I have a new domain. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and show you in a different window here. And this is how you would access your Mindflash account, or your trainees, I should say, would access your Mindflash account. So you could direct them directly to this web address up here rather than your Mindflash account. And all of the emails that they get from Mindflash would reflect that as well. So you have a central location you can send them to. On the Mindflash side, I'll show you real quickly here with a course. You'll also see that all of the functions that we have in the distribute, not just the emails themselves, but all of the functions, so things like Twitter, if you wanted to post to Twitter, it reflects that as well. So that's officially your domain that you would be using for your Mindflash account, so everything's very consistent. As I mentioned, this is a pro level feature, so you will need to be on the pro tier in order to access that, but if you are not on that, just let us know and we can talk about getting you on that. In terms of okay, so moving to your custom domain, we're now on a single sign-on. So this is something that we're pretty excited about. For those of you who don't know, single sign-on allows a person to click on a link in a website or various locations that would then take them directly into their Mindflash account without having to have a separate username or password for Mindflash. They can use whatever the credentials they were using to access the first website in order to access Mindflash. So what we're looking at here, kind of what we're solving for, a lot of different options in terms of where you're signing on from. So things we hear from people, they want their trainees to be able to log in using their Salesforce credentials. So what they log in, like their sales team, they're logging into Salesforce every day. They have that information. They could potentially log into Mindflash using those credentials. Active Directory is very popular amongst our bigger customers. So they're logging into their machines and accessing everything through Active Directory. We now have the ability to do that with an integration that we've done with Okta. So that's something that we're pretty excited about. And then the third one is just sort of a generic website or your own software. You want people to be able to click on a link in that software to go take training and just put them directly into Mindflash courses. That's a possibility with this as well. We use a SAML connector. So that's a common standard, and any of your, many of you probably, but even your IT folks or your website programmers are probably familiar with that and can certainly help you with that if that's something that you're looking to do. A couple of things here. One is that you can have a direct link from another website. So I talked about having it integrated with your website where you click on the training button and it takes you straight in. The other option is that you can have the link that appears on the login screen for Mindflash be a link or a button that they would click on to log directly in. So some of you are familiar with our Yammer integration. It works similar to that, but what I will show you here, as soon as I swap my displays yet again, is what that looks like to the end user. So you can see here, this is our standard login screen. The login with Yammer is something you're probably all familiar with from that integration. You'll also know that, notice that right now I've got this login with Salesforce button up at the top here. This is our single sign-on that we have or will be releasing here shortly. That button is actually customizable, so it doesn't necessarily have to be with Salesforce. It could be any number of items, any number of different software programs that people are logging in with. But potentially you could have a button there that says log in with whatever system you're using. When a trainee comes to this screen, they can click on the login with Salesforce. In this case, what it's now doing is asking me for my Salesforce information. So I am going to put in that real quickly here. Click login to Salesforce. Whoops. Yep, that worked. Click login to Salesforce. And what it does is it checks to make sure that my credentials that I put in with Salesforce are correct. And when they are correct, it then logs me into Mindflash, to my Mindflash account. If I'm already logged into my Salesforce account, it will recognize that and then just let me go straight through. So the next time I come back, if I'm already logged into Salesforce, I just click that button and it knows I'm logged in, so it just lets me straight in. So now I'm in my trainee account and I can come in here and start taking courses. So this is actually really exciting for a variety of things. If you are a Salesforce user, this can be as easy as just putting a button in people's Salesforce account that they can click on, and it'll just send them over to Mindflash to take courses. But like I mentioned, this has myriad other uses or applications, whether it's custom accounts or custom software, or you're using Active Directory. So just a moment on Active Directory. We have an integration with a company called Okta that handles basically Active Directory integrations. And so if you are an Okta customer, they will connect you and your Active Directory to a variety of different software systems. It's literally in the hundreds, I think, at this point. So if that is something that you're interested in, or if your company uses Active Directory but not necessarily Okta, if you want to let us know, we would be happy to have that discussion with you and figure out if that's something that's right for you. For the single sign-on, this is also a pro-level feature. So this is something that if you're on one of the lower tiers, you will not necessarily have access to, but if you do want to upgrade, then just give us a call and we can put you on that, and then we can start working through exactly what this looks like and get it up and running for you guys. So that's it for our new features that we'll be releasing this next week. These features are not in your account right now, but will be within the next week or so. When that happens, we'll be posting release notes to our help center. So in the top right corner of your account, if you just go into the help section up here, you can search for new features, for example. And the top result there is our list of all of our new features that we've been releasing. So we'll just add to this, and you'll see the list and the additional information on the new features that we've released this week. So that will be coming in the next week or so. So that's it for what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to turn it over to Terrence Cito, who is one of our product managers here at Mindflash, and he's going to talk about something that we're actually really excited about, that we've been getting a fair amount of press for, that we're in beta on. So I'm going to turn that over to Terrence.
So just before Terrence gets started with his demo, one of the things that, and the reasons that we did this, this beta with this technology, is that we see a lot of benefits of e-learning, and obviously you as customers certainly see that. Some of those include the ability for trainees to take the training on their own time, their own convenience, at their own pace, and obviously for the company it's a lot more cost-effective and scalable to train hundreds or thousands of trainees, like many of you do, in geographically disparate manners. Some of you are training people in 35 countries, and all of that is great. However, when 70% of communication is nonverbal, there's a lot of information that can be lost between the trainer and the trainee. And we try and help bridge that gap with the email to the trainer, feedback, quizzes, etc., which are suitable asynchronous ways to get this feedback going between the trainer and the trainee. However, there's still been a gap with that nonverbal communication piece, right? How do we get that? So that's really what we've been trying to tackle with this technology. And what we've announced and Terence is about to demo is really only the first piece of that. And we're excited about what we have. And if any of you are interested in trying this out in this beta form on your iPad applications, then just let us know. But we're even more excited about the potential that it has and that we're working on that we'll see in the next several months. And that includes the ability to get the emotion and to be able to see which parts of the screen or which parts of the course were people confused on or happy about, or which parts of the course were they most engaged in and least engaged in. So we'll start with where we are now, which is primarily to help trainers and trainees not miss any of the critical information that you have spent so much time and energy putting together and that is critical for the success of the trainee in a very distracted world. So we want to help both trainees and trainers to not miss any of this critical information, and that is the first step of Focus Assist. So we'll take a look at what Terence is doing here.
Thanks, Renier. Let me share my screen here. And you should see my screen now. You're all familiar with the course dashboard. It hasn't really changed very much so far. And if you're interested in our Focus Assist beta, all you got to do is give us a call, like Renier says. Shoot us an email at any of our channels, feedback at Mindflash or beta at Mindflash, or maybe one of us directly, and we could turn this feature on for you. What happens when we turn the feature on? You'll come to the Customize tab. A new little line item here that we can kind of click checkbox called Engagement Settings. And once you check this off, to require user engagement, this turns on the Focus Assist feature. So I'll give you a quick demo of it. It's actually quite basic. What this will do, and like Renier said earlier, is only for the iPad. I will show my iPad. This is actually a software that we use to show what the iPad is showing currently. And for all the trainees that are taking the courses on the iPad, this is what they see. When the Focus Assist is turned on for this specific course, we do show a little warning. It says this course requires use of iPad's camera, and very firmly, video will not be recorded nor streamed. So there's no fear of any concerns of privacy issues, like if somebody's taking their training in their home or in some maybe public location. We won't be recording any of this. It's not streamed anywhere. This comes to us as ones and zeros rather than any kind of video at all. So we do know that there are a lot of people who are concerned with that, and just to kind of reassure everybody, it's not really a big deal. So as you can see, I've actually already started this course. What I'm going to do is to actually start the course right now. You might see my face for about a split second, and as long as I'm in the camera's view, the course will continue playing. So while I started the course, I'm going through. You might be able to hear the audio if I turn it up loud enough. And we'll go ahead and start this course. And probably won't hear the audio there, but there is some audio as long as I'm in the camera's view. It's still going to work. So I'm going to go to the next slide. I started the next slide. It's going to play some audio. The audio is just not really streaming very well through here, but as you can see, I turned on the little scrubber here, and it shows that the course is playing. This is pretty interesting to me. I'm watching it. I'm paying attention. Okay, well, I'm done with this slide. Let's jump to the next one. So let me swipe to go to the next slide. It seems to be a YouTube video. So the YouTube video is going to start playing in just this moment. It's actually something that we host on YouTube right now. Just talks a little bit about Mindflash, and it's not really that exciting to me right now. Actually, the reality is it is very exciting to talk about Mindflash. So I'm going to try to skip forward, and you can't see my finger move, but I can't skip forward here. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to turn on the TV. I'm going to put the iPad down. I don't feel like watching it right now. So the video just stops. It's giving me a warning. It says, hey, you're not paying attention. So we're just going to stop. We're going to stop the course for you. and make sure that you're actually paying attention to this course. So as you can see right now, the camera is showing right above. It's showing the ceiling right now. So I will put myself back into view and continue the course. You'll see my face for just a moment there. And I haven't touched anything. I didn't touch anything on the screen. And the course continues to play, as you can see right here. And, maybe it got a little bit boring and I decided to put it down. Or maybe possibly look away, and the same thing happens. So this is a way for us to, really ensure that the trainees are paying attention to the course. As it's working right now, I'm looking away. I'm staring at the phone right now, so it's not playing. I'm not paying attention. And once I start looking back into the iPad, it will start playing again. So as a trainer, what this really ensures is that the trainees are actually engaged. They're paying attention to the course. They're taking in all the information and all the really important information that's required. This is great for courses, for pretty much any course. But some of the great use cases are those who are doing safety training. If you're working on oil rig, it's a very hostile environment. People must really take some very serious training there about safety. You really want these individuals to pay very close attention and to know that as a trainer to ensure that they are actually paying attention. They're taking in all this information. So, and that's what the focus is.
Okay. Thank you, Terrence. Yeah, as Terrence outlined, there are a couple of core principles that we are operating with for this kind of technology. The first is that we don't record any video. So we don't record it, we don't store it, we don't stream it back to our own servers or anywhere else. We just don't record video of the trainee. And that's for privacy reasons, but also we just don't think it's necessary, and we don't want to go into that realm. The second is that all data that we report back to you is typically reported in an aggregated manner. So right now, when we say that this course was engaging, it's based on the aggregate of all the trainees who took the training, not just Terrence or just Jason. So we hope that the combination of the two, which is not getting into video and reporting on information on an aggregate manner, gets us the best of both worlds, which is addressing privacy concerns, but also getting some of that nonverbal communication back between trainers and trainees, while still not losing many of the benefits of e-learning. So I'm going to just do a quick recap of what we just covered.
We've got several questions, so we'll address those in just a second too.
Yeah. So we have we talked about the recent feature enhancements that you can find, as Jason pointed out, on our help site. We talked about the enhancements for groups, easier ways to find people in a group, to find people not in a group, easier way to add a new group even as you are adding or editing a trainee. We talked about some of the enhancements for series, which included the ability to reset an entire series, not just courses within a series, the ability to multi-select people who are in a series and take actions on them, and the buttons at the top allow you to easy one-click access to take mass actions on people, and the ability to reset people, reset trainees in any state within the course, regardless of whether they're in progress or past or not. We then saw some exciting features for single sign-on that does the single sign-on with things like Active Directory, Salesforce, and any application that can use a SAML connector. And we also looked at custom domain. If you want to make sure that the training appears like it's being done on your own domain while it's actually being powered by Mindflash. And then Terrence did a demo of Focus Assist, which is the first step in Mindflash's journey to try and bring some of that nonverbal communication that we've lost between live training in a classroom and e-learning. The enhancements for groups are available to people on all our tiers, Basic, Advanced, and Pro. Enhancements for series are available to our Advanced and Pro users that have access to series. The single sign-on and custom domain are available to our pro tier users. Focus Assist as a beta is available to any of our customers. Just email us at beta@mindflash.com. And then before we get into questions, I just want to give you a brief preview of what we're working on and what's coming next, which is the training course player that currently uses Flash. And while we made it work on the iPad, we want to make sure that it works on all mobile devices, including Android, especially the tablet versions of all these different platforms. So we are working on that. It's a fairly big effort, but we think it'll be well worth it and will allow more trainees to take the training in more places. We're also working on the trainer homepage redesign, and we have already contacted a couple of you to give us feedback, and we're always happy to talk to more of you to get your feedback on what is working and what's not working in the product. And even as you're working with the product, if there are things that you suddenly come up with, we want you to know that there's always a place on every page here at the bottom of the page where it says, how can we make this page better for you? You can always click on that section and send us a note so that we don't lose any of your suggestions or ideas, or if things are confusing, we'd love to hear from you. If you're looking for something specific and need an answer from customer care, please still use the help links and the contact us at the top. This send feedback goes to our product team, and this is really used for ideas and new product development. So if you have those, use this box at the bottom. If you need a quick answer to a problem that you're having or questions that you have with your account, please continue to use the help or chat links.
All right, so we have several questions that have come in during the course of the webinar, so now we will address those. So if you do have any additional questions, please feel free to send those in, and we'll answer those before we take off today. They don't necessarily have to be about the features or the things that we're talking about today. So the first question that came in is about the automatic logout after 3 hours, the 3 hours timeout for no activity. Does that count in report? Can you make it a system setting so that it is adjustable? So the time does count in reports. So any time that people spend in the application when they're logged in on one of the pages of a course is recorded in their time. So if they're literally just sitting there with their browser open and just not paying attention or not doing anything, and they sit there for 2 hours, that would be recorded as time spent in the course. So that's part of the reason that we've done this, in order to kind of keep your reports more in line and account for that. So at the 3 hour mark, they would of course be logged out, and that would no longer be adding time.
And when you log back in, it'll take you right back to the page that you were on.
Correct. The second part of this question, can you make it a system setting so that it's adjustable? There are not any plans to do that at this point, but it may be something that you'll see from us in the future. Certainly a good suggestion to be made.
So now it's like a month later.
So does single sign-on apply to Yammer also? So the connection to Yammer is single sign-on. So when anyone accesses Mindflash from Yammer, that is a single sign-on situation with Mindflash. So if you're confused about how single sign-on works in general, but you are familiar with how Yammer works with Mindflash, that is single sign-on, and you could potentially do that with really almost any application at this point, certainly Active Directory, that sort of stuff. Regarding the resets of courseware, I believe that you mentioned prior quiz results will also be deleted once reset of a particular course has been done. If we wanted to confirm if the trainee is consistently missing questions regarding a particular concept or concepts we need to address with the trainees, we would not be able to address some issues such as that. Is there a method where the quizzes can be saved in a separate file? There's not. So the first part of that question is your understanding of how the reset works is correct. When you reset that button, or when you hit the reset button, they literally start from 0 again. So it's as if they haven't taken the course. So they are truly reset in that course. In terms of being able to keep a historical view of that, we occasionally get that request. It's not something that we're planning on adding at this time, but certainly something that we're aware of. So if that is an issue for you, we certainly would love to hear your feedback on that and get a better understanding of what exactly you need. I sell courses online. How do I stop a client from sharing the course link and having other non-paying client register and take the same course without paying? So this is actually not an issue. When you invite someone to a course, they're sent an email with a link in it. That link is only good for the one person that signs up. So if I buy a course from you, and I take that course, I sign up, and I take that course, I click on the link and go and do it, I can't forward that email to Randir to also create an account. Only one account can be created with that email, or one person can access with that email. Now, potentially, I could give him my login information to go in and see the course, but he still can't go in and take the course over again as long as you don't allow him to reset the course. So if you're concerned about this and this is an issue for your customer base, what you'll want to do is turn the trainee's ability to retake a course off, and then just invite them using our normal invite scenario where it sends them the link, and then only that one person could take the course. Also, as an added measure for this, once a certificate is issued, that certificate cannot be changed with the name, so they can't swap out a different name. Also, all of our certificates have a unique number on them on the bottom. So if someone came to you and said, hey, I just earned this certificate from your system and it's confusing, you could go in and find out whether or not that was a legit number or it tied to another person. Can you take us to the custom domain site you set up so we can see it? I think that was probably asked during my demo, but I think we did that. But certainly if you have any further questions about custom domains, just let me know, or any of us know, and we'd be happy to walk you through that or show you how that works. When will the new engagement feature be rolled out to other tablets or PCs? That's probably a better question for Randir. It's definitely something that is tied to our ability to support training on different types of tablets. So Randir mentioned that real quickly on kind of what we're working on. But in terms of adding Focus Assist to the web and to other mobile devices, there are plans to do that. But Randir probably knows the timeline on that a little bit better.
Yeah, our goal is to make sure that all these features work on any platform that Mindflash works on, so that you're not having to make trade-offs on where to use Mindflash based on the features that we support. We did this as a beta mainly to get feedback, because it is pushing the envelope a bit on using this technology in corporate training. And you guys probably have seen some of the news. We were in Business Week, in Forbes, on Wired, and a whole bunch of publications. And there were some excitement, definitely a lot of excitement about the technology, but also some concerns. And we just wanted to get feedback from you, our customers, on what works and what doesn't. But our goal is definitely to get this available on all devices, including all tablets that we work with and PCs.
The next question is also to that end. It says, or add an engagement feature that pauses the course if they're inactive for a certain amount of time, say 5 minutes. So that's tied to our automatic logout, which is the way that we're sort of dealing with that situation. Obviously, once we push the Focus Assist to all browsers and devices, if they have a webcam, that's obviously the big issue. But if they have a webcam, it would pause it as they're going through, just like you saw in the demo that Terrence did. So I think that would address that issue. Is there a way to extract out all users from reports in one poll to do offline reporting? Yeah, so all of the reports in Mindflash are exportable to Excel or PDF. So in the scenario that you're talking about, obviously Excel would be your choice. But all of the reports, both in our regular reporting and our advanced reporting, are exportable to Excel. So you should be able to pull out anything you need and then add it to another system or do any manipulation that you need to do outside of Mindflash. So those are all the questions we have today. And good timing, because we've got about 5 minutes before we said we would wrap it up. So we don't have anything else to go over at this point. So thank you for all of your questions and your attendance, and we will talk to everyone soon.
All right, and we do have a 2-question survey at the end of this call. So when you sign off from the webinar, you'll be asked to take this 2-question survey. Please do take it. It'll help us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you would like to hear about in future webinars. So we look forward to that, and we look forward to hearing from you in the various help and feedback sections of the product as well. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.